We bring in Chris Cabrera of the National Border Patrol Council. Good to see you, sir. We appreciate it. The words I've heard: demoralized, overworked, underfunded. Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Why?
Well, you had what happened out in Del Rio, and it's just a distraction from what's going on. What their narrative is nothing like what happened. Yet you had the secretary, you had the president and the vice president, not to mention some Congress people jump on the bandwagon, and there's nothing there. And it's just they're just slandering our agents and pulling them out of the field, and it's not necessary.
Understood that the agents who feel that way, who feel slandered and were on those horses, would be angry. Has that had an effect on the rank and file who are out here patrolling every day?
Most definitely. Every agent I've talked to, I would say every agent in the Border Patrol, which is a big statement, every agent feels that they've been slighted by the administration and to some degree by management for not sticking up to it for them.
What am I missing in that so much of what we saw out in the field over the past 72 hours was Border Patrol processing, not Border Patrol patrolling?
Yeah, this is something that's been going on since 2013. We've been dealing with these.
So it isn't just specific to the Biden administration.
No, but it's gotten worse. We had it somewhat under control last year,
okay.
And we were down to a trickle, and then they opened it up again, and we're right back to where we started, probably even farther behind. And it's something that's very simple. We had programs in place that were sending people back to Mexico to await their hearing. And so it slowed everything down, and we were back to chasing people that were trying to get away, apprehending drug shipments, and it went right back to the babysitting duties, and our guys aren't in the field protecting what they need to protect. Yeah,
I wanted to get back to the issue of the horse patrols for a second, and what the White House had to say about it. The president obviously said they would pay. Jen Psaki from the White House podium was very critical, and she sort of doubled down even after we learned that they weren't even using whips today. Take a listen.
Of course, our Department of Homeland Security will continue to look at and assess, especially as the investigation concludes, what that looks like. They've been suspended in Del Rio, Texas. That was a step in response, of course, directly to those horrific photos.
You look at the photos, and we have them here. Are they horrific?
I don't think they're horrific, especially when you see the other angles of those photos. It's just an agent chasing somebody. That's what we do. That's what we're designed to do.
Do you understand how people would find them bracing or not?
I could see how, people would see that they were, maybe to somebody who doesn't know what a working horse does or what Border Patrol agents do, but I mean, nobody was harmed in that. I mean, nobody was hurt, nobody was hit, nobody was whipped. I don't understand what the big deal is. I think the pictures that show what's actually happening, those aren't seen, and the ones from a creative angle, those are the ones they're jumping on. And I think the president, I think Ms. Psaki, I think Maxine Waters and the vice president owe these agents and all Border Patrol agents an apology.
Is there been a shift here in terms of where people look to for control of the border? Governor Abbott this Sunday said, hey, look, if any of those agents are fired from the horses, we'll take them here for the Texas Department of Public Safety. We were out with DPS. No offense to your agency, but they seem to be doing a lot more of the real grunt work and the patrolling work than you guys do.
Yeah, and I'm kind of conflicted there because as a Border Patrol agent, it's sad to see that somebody has to step in and do our job. But as a Texan, I'm proud that my state is stepping in and doing what the federal government won't do. It is a shame that what we're designed to do, we're not being used in that capacity as opposed to being babysitters.
Chris, thank you very much. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 15,000 Haitians under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas, put that sleepy border town